All right, let's start it up. Patrick Saunders, go ahead with the first question.
Hi, buddy. How are you today?
I'm well, Patrick.
Good. A few questions for you off the top. Are we going to see anything different this evening in terms of, are you going to expand the quote unquote intersquad scrimmage a little bit tonight, or is it going to be pretty much what we have been seeing?
Patrick, are you going to be here at 6:10?
Yes, I will, buddy. I'll be there about 4:30, I would imagine.
Great. Write about it when you see it.
Okay.
You might like what you see.
Okay. Second part of the question. There's various reports around baseball that teams may or may not pipe in crowd noise during games, not just practice, but possibly during games. Well, I'm serious. I know you're laughing, but what do you think? Does that matter one way or nothing to you?
Let's go for it. I don't know. I've never seen it happen, but I'm anxious to maybe see what it's like.
You had a bemused look on your face. So
I mean, yeah. I thought we were going to talk baseball, not crowd noise, but I think we let's try it. I have no idea what that would be like, but maybe we'll practice it before we start.
Okay.
What have you heard?
Exactly that. Some people are thinking they're going to do it. Some players think it's great. Some players don't like the idea. They just figure just keep it as is.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never experienced it, so I don't know what it's like. So
Okay.
maybe we should practice it.
Okay.
What do you
Maybe
think? Are you
will.
in or out?
Am I in or out? I don't like it, but that's me.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Have you heard it?
No.
You might like it. So I'm going to wait
Question.
until I hear it. I'm going to wait until I hear it, then decide whether I like it or not.
Okay. Question for you about Antonio Senzatella. I know we discussed him a little bit earlier, but the thing with Antonio, he's always had that pretty dynamic fastball. The next step for him was getting the consistent, reliable secondary pitch. Where does Antonio stand in your mind right now with that?
Yeah, much better, much improvement. I think we started to see that in September of last year. I think it carried over into this spring, and it's carried over now into summer camp. He's been throwing the ball really well. I'm excited for Antonio. Physically, he's in a really good spot. He's lost some weight. He seems to be stronger. He's moving better. Some of the things that we've picked up, on some of the, the analytical devices, Rapsodo, Edgertron, some of the things that we've studied with Antonio, I think, we've turned that into some lessons for him, and he's done a great job of absorbing that information and helping him create better spin, on the ball. So I'm excited to see how this plays out with his slider and his curveball. He had a little bit of a finger issue last year throwing the changeup. That is now not an issue, so that's a good thing. So we got a 4-pitch mix that Antonio feels good about. I'm encouraged by what I've seen. The proof will be in the pudding, but I'm optimistic about his mix of pitches as from where it was a year ago and where it was a couple of years ago. So there's been marked improvement.
Okay, one more thing for me. I don't want to monopolize this. I know Charlie Blackman is back in Colorado. Is there any more you can tell us about? I know you spoke about yesterday, but I know he is back here in town.
God, I wish I could, but again, I think it's just he's got to go through the testing protocols until he gets the green light. I think that's probably as simple as I can put it.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
And Patrick,
Yes.
you're going to see some pinstripes and some purple uniforms tonight.
Excellent.
Just give you a little something to get excited about.
Okay. Thank you.
And I think you're going to see 9 players at each position after maybe not 3 outs, but, but 2 teams in different dugouts.
That's good.
So if that's what you had heard and you were sort of wanting my final word on that, that's what you're going to see.
Thank you, buddy.
You're
Thomas
welcome.
Harding, go
You're
ahead.
welcome, Patrick.
First of all, can't wait. Secondly, I am in on the crowd noise, at least on the broadcast. Don't know about in the stadium, but I'm in on it on the broadcast.
Yeah, I to be honest with you guys, I don't know what that'd be like. I mean, I guess we'd have to throw it out here to see what it's like here in the next 10 days or so, to see what that's like. Or even, when we go down to Texas and play those exhibition games, see what it's like. So I don't know, but I might add something to the, to the stadium.
Ron Maltapia, during spring training, made some adjustments to his kind of setup in the batter's box, started hitting the ball a lot harder. Are you seeing a guy that's ready to do what you guys expected him to do in the box? And also the second part of the question is, in the field, what do you feel he does best? What position? Do you look at leaving him in left or moving him around?
Well, I think he can be moved around. As you guys know, our minor league department, our player development department has done a great job in the minors of moving our outfielders around to play all positions. They're comfortable at each and every one. Most of our guys who've come up through the system, Tapia, Dahl, Hilliard, amongst others, true outfielders. So we feel comfortable with him at any position. I'll speak to the defense first, and I'll get back to the hitting. But he's capable of making great plays. We've seen that, right? We've seen some long-ranging plays. We've seen some diving plays. And we've also seen some mishaps. So, we're looking for just the day-in, day-out consistency of play on defense from Tap. It's in there, again, but I think it's still it's everyday practice of working his hands, of jumps, of routes. Those things never stop for a player, and I think he's made improvement over the years that I've been here, so that has to continue. Offensively, again, we've seen Tap sort of bounce around from the the big leg kick to the toe tap. We're trying to get a little bit more consistency in each and every at bat to the approach. I know that Mags and Sally and Tim Doherty have worked awful hard with Tap in spring training 1, and now here in summer camp to try to consistently get the right approach as far as the leg kick goes. And with that, I think we're going to see better at bats and the expectation of a big league hitter. He hit in the minor leagues at every level. He has bat to ball skill. He has speed. He has some thump in the bat. I think he's still getting into his man body per se, and with a strength component. I think he's confident now as a big leaguer. I truly feel he belongs, and he feels that too. So that should translate to more consistency in the box. But we saw some good things out of him last year, and we've seen some really big moments. The Archie Bradley Grand Slam among them. So. I suspect that he's going to be a contributor. I really do. I mean, he's a good player, and I think he's going to help us win.
Do you feel that I would say the last 15, 20 at bats down in Scottsdale, ball came off his bat differently, and everything showed up on the radar. Did that hold? Just from watching what you've seen here in summer camp?
Too early to tell. He's only got a handful of at bats in these. In these competitive at-bats that, we've put out in front of them. I think the true test will be once the season starts.
Okay, and I wasn't there the last couple of days, but just from kind of following and watching on social media and talking to people there, seems that guys like Nolan and Trevor and McMahon are really stinging some balls here. Do you feel that maybe you had said the other day it's hard to get out of bed and hit 95, but do you feel that they've kind of caught up a bit and you're starting to see some really good swings from the offensive guys?
Those 3 guys in particular, and Daniel Murphy, I think has really swung the bat well. those guys, I believe, have, like I mentioned previously, the competitive bats that we're talking about, I think they have like 15 of them against our guys. They'll get more tonight, they'll get, more tomorrow night. So that's a good thing. But, Nolan and Trev, came into this camp truly ready. I think I mentioned yesterday how proud I was of, all our players, but especially impressed and proud how they are feeling and how they're going about it and where they are physically. They've really set a great tone for the rest of the group, and Mac has been right there with them too, and that's been awesome. So, I mean, again, collectively, I'm proud of our guys, impressed by, how they came in physically and the energy level that they're portraying out on the field.
And kind of a philosophical question here. A lot of times toward the end of a camp, teams are looking for different additions, trades, pickups from other clubs. You're not able to see other camps. They're not able to see you. I mean, do you feel that you're going to have to go with what you've got? And are there any areas where maybe you guys could go out and shore it up?
Well, I think you're always looking. I know that Jeff and his guys are, their ears to the pavement. They're assessing other teams. I do believe phone calls have started to happen amongst general managers and assistant general managers. Just sort of feeling each other out as far as their ball clubs. And you're right. I mean, there's no scouting going on right now. There's no eyes on other teams and what they're doing and what they look like and who's even on the field, right? I mean, we don't know who's on the field on other clubs, and the same goes for teams as they look at our club. So, but I think you're always looking, Thomas. I think you're always looking for good players, and a lot of times you might have to, make some decisions that, go against the traditional way of acquiring players, especially from scouting now. But we'll see. But everybody's in the same boat.
And just to follow up on that to make sure, and I'm not trying to start any Bill Belichick stuff here, but do you have access to the video from other teams like that? It all goes into New York. Do teams have access to that right now?
I think the only thing that we have access to is what you guys have access to, or whatever teams are putting out there.
Okay. Thanks, buddy.
You
All
got
right,
it,
go ahead,
Thomas.
Nick Groke for the final question, sir.
Hey, buddy. Daniel Bard, the results from batters last night he looked really impressive. From your critical eye, what were the pitches like from him?
I thought, I was right behind the screen. I don't know whether if you were here last night,
I was.
but I was right behind the screen with Mags, and I really liked how, the ball looked coming out of his hand and the action in the hitting area. He gave up a home run to Nolan on a hanging slider, which was up, chest high, and Nolan swinging the bat great. But after that, I thought he really made some pitches. The fastball had nice velocity and run. He had a couple different sliders that were effective. Really good one to Kemp for a strikeout. I think he got one underneath McMahon as well. I thought he threw the ball really well. So I'm encouraged by where he is, and he'll be back out there tomorrow or Monday, I believe. We'll get him back out there again. But I'm excited about Daniel and how he's throwing the ball.
He used to throw that really hard sinker. Is he throwing that still?
No, that's still in the game. Yeah, I mean, the fastball has run, and when it's down, it sinks. So that's still there. His traditional moving fastball.
Okay. And then are you just sort of looking forward, is 15 pitchers about right, 5 and 10? Does that seem in the ballpark?
You wouldn't, yeah, you'd really be in the ballpark right there.
Okay.
You really would be. And then if you do the math, that's 15 position players.
Yeah, I think if I double 15, it goes to 30.
I think.
I think. What?
Yeah, I think if you, yeah.
Are you excited to be able to have more pitchers at your disposal?
Well, it's necessary, right? Just
Yeah.
based on where they are. you know, it's not unlike a September situation. You know, I'll look forward to, you know, paring down to 28 and 26, but I think initially, I think it's a good thing.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, wait, what? Real fast. Who?
Yeah.
Can you tell us who's, you know, what quote unquote starting tonight for the two sides, the purple and the pinstripes?
Yes. Ryan Rollison is starting the game for the Pinstripes. And Jose Mujica is starting for the purple team.
It's fascinating. We look forward to it. Yeah. Thank you, buddy.
See you guys.
Bye.